Hello everyone, I'm Pengyu Li. Thanks for your interest in our work, BioNet, a biologically inspired network for face recognition. In this paper, we propose a biologically inspired face recognition network to experimentally support the recent discussion about whether and how neuroscience findings inspire AI progress. We call the proposed network BioNet. The BioNet constituted with two subnetworks, which named Visual Cortex Network and Inferotemporal Cortex Network. The Inferotemporal Cortex Network models three neuroscience cutting-edge findings about human face recognizing systems shown in the red rectangles. By modeling those biological characteristics with the proposed modules, we achieve better attribute-enhanced DeepFR models than ever and boost state-of-the-art performance significantly. We will introduce our paper in details then. Let's introduce our motivation first. Recently, whether and how cutting-edge neuroscience findings can inspire AI confused both communities and draw much attention. Some researchers agree with the opinions, however, others have two major concerns. It results in a lack of evidence to support that the latest neuroscience study can continue to drive AI progress. For providing experimental evidence to the discussion, we focus on one of the most broadly researched topics in both fields, face recognition. The latest neuroscience studies about face recognition found that, besides the visual cortex, which is widely used in deep convolutional neural network, the inferotemporal cortex plays a vital role in the human face recognizing systems. The inferotemporal cortex makes attribute contribute to face recognition because of the following three biological characteristics. First, the inferotemporal cortex is functionally compartmentalized by the face identity and attributes. Second, the responses of the functional compartments are transformed into the successor neurons for processing complex tasks, such as face recognition. Third, the intensities of the functional compartment are variant in the inferotemporal cortex, demonstrating that the attributes are not equally essential to the human face recognizing system. In the AI field, most of works focus on effective loss functions and face recognition structures. Although a few AI-FR works boosted the performance with attribute enhancement, none of them are inspired by the human face recognizing system nor boosted performance significantly. We experimentally prove that the DeepFR models do not capture the biological characteristics of the human beings. To address the problem and experimentally support the neuroscience to drive AI progress, we propose a BioNet and purposely model the biological characteristics of the human face recognizing system with classical CNNOPs. The proposed BioNet is constituted by two cascade subnetworks, Visual Cortex Network (VCN) and Inferotemporal Cortex (ICN) as figure shows. The VCN is modeled with a CNN backbone. The proposed ICN is constituted of three biologically inspired modules, which is the Cortex Functional Compartmentalization Module (CFC), the Compartment Response Transfer Module (CRT), and the Response Intensity Modulation Module (RIM). To show details about our major purpose ICN, we illustrate our BioNet in details in these slides. CFC is based on the attention and multitask learning mechanism to functionally compartmentalize a feature map with face identity and attribute supervisions. CRT is implemented by MLP to transform inter-compartment responses to success neurons for processing complex FR tasks. RIM follows the example mechanism to fuse inter-compartment features via adaptive weights to achieve the final FR repetitions. The proposed modules follow the human face recognizing mechanism and empower ICN to characterize the complicated relationship between identity and attributes. All of the proposed modules are indispensable in BioNet. Our proposed modules borrow lessons from other mechanisms. To show the superiority of our proposals, we compare BioNet with the mechanisms in these slides. The borrowed mechanism include multitask learning mechanism, attention mechanism, and example mechanism. The brief illustration about all settings are in the left. The details about setting, please refer to our paper. The performance are shown on the right. We use a single network for face recognition tasks. and face attribute classification tasks simultaneously. The table shows that the baseline FR models and the borrowed mechanisms cannot boost FR performance as significantly as our BioNet. The baseline FR model and the borrowed mechanism cannot capture the biological characteristics of the human face recognizing systems because the human inferotemporal cortex is functionally compartmentalized by face attributes, and all attributes contribute to FR performance. However, baseline FR works poorly in the face attributes classification tasks, and multitask learning decreases the FR performance. Attention mechanisms seem to work well on both tasks, but their improvement of FR is marginal. The performance of the self-attention mechanism is comparable to the supervised attention, which makes us infer that the attribute knowledge doesn't contribute to FR at all. Average example and adaptive example mechanism can get the same conclusions. BioNet achieves the best performance on FR and FA tasks as the table shows. It also captures the biological characteristics of human inferotemporal cortex. The face attributes annotations are required in our training pipeline. We present two solutions to automatically annotate the observed attribute and the latent attribute. We introduce our experiments directly. Please refer to our paper for the details about the datasets and the implementations. The table shows that our BioNet achieved the state-of-the-art performance. What's more, it is also a computationally efficient method. Here is the evaluation study about three proposed modules. The table shows that all three modules are contributed to the FR performance, and none of them is dispensable. Here's the evaluation studies about the attributes, include the influence of observed and latent attributes, impacts of the observed attributes categories, and the influence of the attribute numbers. In conclusion, we proposed an LFR network that is inspired by the latest neuroscience studies. It provides experimental evidence that the latest neuroscience studies can continue to drive AI progress. By modeling the human face recognizing system with the proposals, BioNet makes both identity-related attributes and identity-unrelated attributes benefit the deep FR models. Without births and visitors, it consistently and significantly boosts the state-of-the-art of FR models and standard FR benchmarks. In the future, we are looking forward to the neuroscience studies that can integrate with other AI tasks such as image classification and object detection. We are also looking forward to the neuroscience studies that can integrate with other AI paradigms such as transformer. That's all. Thank you.